I was telling Mama the other day, I said, I don't want any woman. Um, I want a woman that know God, like I know God. You know, I came to realization the other day when I was telling my mom this. I said, people be confused on why I like certain women, a particular type of woman, and I explained to her that those women know God. They know God. Those women are connected to God. Although they may do what they do, but those women know God. Only a woman that knows God could be able to go out there and do what they do and still have a sound mind, still have strong intuition, still be able to pray, to be able to stand tall, even when the world throwing stones at them, to be able to stand and and take the accountability for their sins, for their wrong, you know, to be honest with themselves and honest with the world. There's so many things that those women have that most women that people feel like that a guy like me should be, you know, seeking to date or whatever, or should be dating. They don't do any of that. And like I explained to my mother, it's not sex with these women. I don't even sleep with these women. I really make strong relationship bonds with these women, or solely based on the fact that I can talk about God with you and you can hear me, and I can hear God speaking through you. It's the simple fact that I can go to a woman, a tough woman, a strong woman, and make her stand in her femininity just by being a nurturer, just by exposing me to her true nature, by her being vulnerable with me as well, by her not hiding anything from me, or her not faking the funk or jiving. You know what I'm saying? I told Mama, I said, man, I want a woman of God. I desire a woman of God, you know? And I know that you ain't gonna find women like that everywhere. I understand you ain't gonna even find women like that in your church. Women like that, man, you meet them in the oddest places. So instead of praying for her, I'm just gonna tell God to place me where I need to be placed so I can meet her. You know? Um, I'm a man of God. Despite whatever title the world wanna put on me or whatever title the world wanna give me, I'm a man of God at the end of the day. You know, I'm not man and God. I'm a man of God. You know what I'm saying? So that means I'm at one with God. Most men and women of God, they paths ain't always the chosen ones. They paths ain't always the ones that's coming. They paths ain't always beautiful, but it's golden. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they golden. And that's why they were chosen to walk that path. You know, many don't understand that most people that end up with certain titles and roles in this game of life in God's movie, uh, they didn't choose that role. God chose them to play that role, and they have to play it to perfection. See, people of God, men and women of God, no matter what they do out here, they stand and hold themselves accountable and take ownership of what they do. They don't blame others. They blame themselves. Even when people want to make them feel like they're the victim, they know they're not the victim because this was the path that God chose for them. This was the path God gave them. This is how God is using them as the example. They might laugh and point, throw rocks, throw sticks, beat us, spit on us, down talk us. You know what I'm saying? Laugh at us, make us the subject of ridicule. At one point. But in the end, they will be grateful. They will be thankful. And they will be looking to those same ones to teach them and guide them and show them the way. See, God has a funny way of using his ones, using his children. You know, God has a funny way of using his children. And sometimes his children, in confusion, may not understand that part. You know what I'm saying? They may not understand during that time. You know, why it's so hard, why it's so rough, why it was started out that way, why them. They don't understand until they come out of confusion and they start to accept and they start to release and they start to forgive and they go within. Then they begin to realize, I understand why. And they might still ask God, but why me? And God will show them more. See, God uses the world as a mirror for his children. And his children are a mirror for the world. It's an exchange. God's children are not above. God's children are not above. Neither are they below. God's children, feet is still on earth. Planted, rooted. Just like those who aren't. But in the end, we're all God's children. We're all a reflection of God. That's why God gave us both a mirror, both sides. That's why we have polarity. Although we might do some things different, we might have some different beliefs, we might have some different rhythms, we might have some different languages, we might have some different whatever. It don't matter, we all the same. We were all chosen to be here. It's many people that don't get a chance to make it here. So to understand that we're all chosen, we're all important, but I understand that it's one that's chosen for me. And I want him. And I want him. Only her. Like I always tell people, that other thing that I do, that's a role in God's movie. That's a character I've been chosen to play. It's a duty that comes with that. That ain't for my pleasure. That ain't for my gain. That's just who I am in this movie. But that ain't all who I am, and that ain't all that I do. But I don't care if I'm judged just for that. Hate me for that. That's okay. Because I know you don't understand. You only have what you've been told. You only have half truths. You don't have the whole truth. Because if you knew the entire truth, you wouldn't look at us, man or women of God, and say what you say. That's how I know most women, like I said, no matter how religious they are, I don't give a damn what religion they belong to. I don't give a damn how disciplined they is. A lot of them ain't women or men of God. They children of the occult. You know what I'm saying? That's who they believe. That's what they worship. That's what they live by. I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got no problem with that at all. That's your game. That's your lane. Do your thing. But don't come boarding in over here and messing with us. Because we ain't messing with y'all. But yeah, man, I love this game, man. I love life. And I know my wife, man, is a reflection of me. And she comes from life, you know. She's a product of life, man. And that's going to be the beauty, and that's what's going to make me love her so hard and so strong. And I want the world to see that. I want the world to see that. I want another man to see what it looks like, but also feel that energy. A lot of times we can make shit look good, but I want to be able to make them feel it so they can make somebody else feel like that and get that same feeling or even better. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a man of God. I'm a human. I'm having a human experience. I'm having experience as man. And I'm a product of God. So I'm of God. God made me. God saved me. So I don't care what nobody say. And I want a woman to be the same way. You know, I know sometimes, man, nowadays, most women don't know what that's like. At one point in time, women led men to God. You know, but at one point too, man had to lead women back to God. Some women. And I know I'm leading. I lead mine back to God. That's my duty. You know. Once I lead her back to God, she gonna keep me connected to God. So I don't never get away. Cause as man period. One man, we'll get away from God. But as long as I know my woman connected to God, one thing about a woman, once she get connected to God, she ain't finna get away. She ain't finna get away. She ain't gonna get away from God. I can meet one that's connected to God. Like the way I'm connected to God. And we connect, we just gonna be connected. We gonna become a unit. My whole thing is, man, it's a specific woman I heard from me. And it ain't every woman. I'm well aware of that. You know, most people think because I have the ability to, and I have the gifts and talents, and I have the attraction, I have everything that I need, that I can sleep with a lot of women. I can, but I don't. You know, believe it or not, a lot of niggas be disappointed, or they be looking at me crazy and saying little things when they see that I rejected certain women. Why you reject her, bro? You know what I'm saying? Whoop whoop, because she don't know God at all. And a woman that don't know God, the immoral woman, is just like the immoral man. They the same. They ain't gonna do nothing but bring you down. That's the only way you can love them. You gotta be able to get on their level. Cause they ain't never coming to yours. Once I see that, I distance myself, bro. I don't want her. You have her. You get her. You know what I'm saying? Man, I know God, man. And I ain't never got away from God. I experimented with some things outside of you know what I'm saying, but God allowed me to experiment to see. But God showed me that whole time that you can experiment because you a scholar, you a learner. You come here to learn about life on a different level. You can do that. But I tell you what, and I ain't gonna never tell you no lie, I ain't never stopped praying to my God. I ain't never stopped praying to my God. No matter what I experimented with, I ain't never stopped praying to my God. Never. And I ain't gonna never stop praying to my God. Every time I prayed to my God during that time, God showed me I ain't never left you, boy. God saved me so many times during my experimentation. God protected me so many times. God placed me around all type of people, all type of beings, all type of creatures, predators. Nothing happened. I was so comfortable with them, man, it scared them because they was like, he ain't even like us. But why he ain't scared? They was trying everything they could. It didn't scare me. It didn't break me. Everything they wanted to do, they couldn't do it because God was over me. God had me covered. God had me protected. I'm telling you, man, my God real. My God know I ain't perfect. If I swear, it's because I'm emotional about what I'm talking about. I'm passionate about it. I ain't making no excuse about it, but once it's a habit, everybody knows it's a habit. It's hard to cut a habit. I'm doing better than I used to. But you ain't gonna make me feel ashamed or guilty about what I'm doing or what I'm saying. Because I'm still talking about God at the end of the day. I ain't cursed God. I ain't disrespecting God. That's your belief. That's what you believe. That's what you think. And that's okay. You can be the judge, but just know it's a jury for you too. You know what I'm saying? So understand that. You know what I'm talking about? So like I said, I ain't worried about what nobody say or what nobody talking about. I'm going to play my role to the T. God know my role is complicated. It's difficult. It's challenging. Especially right now. So I'm going to swear. I'm going to curse because it's frustrating. Then too, it's the only way it seems like it gets your attention for all those who like to judge. It's mighty strange. Everything I just said about God and how good God to me, the only thing that stood out to your attention was cussing. Obviously, you be cussing. You might not cuss out loud, but you cuss probably more than me. You came here with the intention to judge anyway, so I don't know what you watching me for. Like I said, man, I ain't mistreated nobody. I ain't did wrong to nobody, and I'm a cuss. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know? I still got things that I do, and I ain't gonna call them flaws because I ain't perfect. Ain't none of us perfect. And I ain't trying to bring all of us into this. This is about me. I know I can speak for me. Nigga, I ain't perfect and I ain't trying to be perfect, but I'm gonna play my role to perfection. And however I gotta do it, and however I gotta do it, and however I gotta say it, that's just what it is. You don't like my delivery? Hey, it's some more of us out here that's saying the same thing. Go find them. I'm gonna say this the way I gotta do it because I ain't for everybody. Everybody got a kind. I put messages out for my kind, for my loved ones, for my people, for my kinfolks. You know what I'm saying? I put the word out for them. I can't save the world. And when I put the word out, I ain't trying to touch everybody. Man, I'm really just sharing my thoughts and letting God speak through me and letting it flow through me. It's gonna touch whoever it needs to touch. And that's cool. It make me feel better doing this, what I'm supposed to be doing. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't even gonna be hoping for that. But if it touch somebody else, that's fine. That's cool. That's what's up. I'm just doing it the way God told me to do it. And I'm just leaving it where God told me to leave it at, because I leave it everywhere. I don't just leave it in this reality. I leave it in all these other realities, all these other dimensions. So it's like, nigga, this is what I do. And how I do it is how I do it. Everything ain't for you. I ain't gonna switch it up. I ain't gonna appease to the needs of you. You might catch me on a good day when I'm not gonna cuss. You know what I'm saying? You welcome to leave your comment in the comment section on about me using God in the sign and then using profanity. I don't care. I'm not a Christian. I'm not your average Christian. I'm unorthodox. I'm not an Orthodox Christian. So don't come at me with no orthodox. I don't live by it. You know what I'm saying? I'm divergent, man, not convergent. You did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't got to do it your way. If I got to do it your way to be accepted by you, this ain't for you. Bye. But yeah, man, it's all good. And it's all love. Y'all hold it down, man. Men and women and men and women of God. This next cycle is our cycle. For all those that spent these last few cycles going through death, well, it's time for you to rebirth. And you're going through a rebirthing cycle. So this next cycle, this gonna be the rebirth. You're gonna rise again. You fail. You were laid to rest. Now you finna rise again. You're reborn. Welcome. This is your new world. Create it, shape it, and set the tone. Most importantly, raise the frequency. It's on you now. It's on us now. Peace reflection.